A rate of change compares two quantities that are changing, and slope is often used to describe a real-life rate of change. So anytime you see that phrase or rate of change, always remember that's nothing more than just simply finding the slope. So recall, to find the slope, you're going to find the change in y over the change in x. So let's do some real world examples. In 2006, there were 65 million basic cable TV customers in the US. There were 56 million such customers in 2012, so use the data from the graph below to find the average rate of change and the number of customers per year. So our keyword here, they're asking us to find the average rate of change. And recall, anytime you see that phrase, average rate of change, all you're doing is finding the slope there. So if we take a look at our graph here, actually inside the graph we were given our two ordered pairs. So in 2006, there were 65 million customers, because notice our y-axis, the scale is in millions. And in 2012, there were 56 million customers. So let's go ahead and plug in those two ordered points. Remember that the slope is the y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So once we plug those values into the slope formula, it's going to look like so. So let's go ahead and subtract the top as well as subtract the bottom. That's going to leave us with -9 on top and 6 on the bottom. Now we are talking about customers here, so instead of a fraction, let's go ahead and write it as a whole number, to the nearest whole number. So -9 divided by 6, or we'll approximate it rather, -9 divided by -6. So we know this is going to be a negative slope, because anytime you have a negative divided by a positive, it's going to equal negative. And in this case, it equals -1.5. Now again, we're talking here in million. So how would we interpret it that? We would interpret it that this means that the number of basic cable TV customers decreased by 1.5 million customers per year from 2006 to 2012, because that was the time frame here of our data. So notice here the -1.5, a negative number signifies a negative slope, and we can see from our graph is moving from left to right in a downward motion, which does signifies a negative slope. In this example, the graph below shows the number of digital cable TV customers in the US from 2007 to 2012. Find the average rate of change in the number of customers per year. Again, we are given our ordered pairs within the graph. Our first set of ordered pair would be 2007, 37, and then 2012, 47. So let's go ahead and plug those values into the slope formula so that we can find the average rate of change. Once we plug those points into the formula, it's going to look like so. Let's go ahead and subtract the top and subtract the bottom. That's going to give us 10 divided by 5, and we know that 10 divided by 5 equals 2. That is a positive number, which we should expect a positive slope, because if you'll notice, our graph is moving from left to right in an upward motion, which signifies a positive slope. We have a positive number. How do we interpret that? Well, we would interpret that to mean that the average number of digital TV customers increased by 2 million per year from 2007 till 2012.